Each morning, real setups are broken down with entry strategies and technical reasoning behind every trade. This is today's best trade setups with Verified Investing.
Welcome to today's best trade setups. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at Verified Investing. Early last week, we had a really nice sell-off in the markets. It looked like the Santa Claus Rally wasn't going to happen, and then all of a sudden there was a shift towards Wednesday, Thursday, and even into Friday. We had this continued float to the upside. The SMH is continuing to push higher. I have some key technical resistance levels that I'm going to go over in the charts that we're going to be eyeing going forward as far as shortable levels. There are a couple stocks that I'm looking at for longs. They're not even really close to those levels quite yet. However, if we get another fall in some of these stocks, we have some longs. But I got to talk about LITE. It is making new highs or about to, and MU as well. I've got some resistance levels on those. First one I want to talk about, though, is Oracle. Let's go ahead and go over the Oracle chart. Oracle had this nice bid to the upside on Friday. Had this really nice rally. I had some positive news. So for you guys who are really aggressive on ORCL, it's $201.99. Not only do you have this pivot top right here, you've also got all this additional resistance where there could be some sellers who come out and drive the price down a little bit. This is not a swing trade. This is a day trade. If you're aggressive, I would be looking for about $2, maybe $3. Now, if Oracle decides it wants to push up a little bit more, I'm going to zoom into the charts. The next level of resistance is going to be this wide range green bar candle. Think about all the people who had bought in this green bar candle, and then on this red bar candle, they were still continuation of buyers, and then all of a sudden price got below it, finally recapped it. People thought they were going to continue up on ORCL, and then all of a sudden you gap below it. Did not give an opportunity for these buyers in here to get out of this trade. So once price action then pushes back up to $210.57, this would be a great opportunity for them to exit at a break even and drive the price down. We want to jump on board as they're taking advantage or as they're unloading their shares and take this price down with them. If price does get above this $210.50 level, 57-cent level, your next level of resistance is going to be $223.14. The move from this $177 level all the way up, that's a 26% move to the upside. You got to think about all these people who were stuck in this trade, down 25% on their trade. If price action can get back to their break even with this market rally, they're likely to take some profits or get out of the trade at their break even. And again, we want to take advantage of that and really drive the price down with them, forcing it down about $2 to $3. Not a day trade, not a swing trade level, but should be some key resistance. AVGO was another stock that we were looking at. I ended up playing this in the live day trading room on Friday. Got into this, took about $900 to the upside. If price gets up to $355.18, you should get a nice rejection. What I'm looking at is this broken upswing trend line that connects to lows of April, secondary pivot, lows of 21st of November, connected those two pivot lows. Price got below it. Once price action then gets back up to this level, $355.18 is where likely price action is going to be rejected, with additional resistance right here at about $362. Not only that, but look at this wide range red bar candle. That's going to be additional resistance and all this price consolidation in this area. Now, that would be a day trade level. If price can get back above this, you're going to move all the way back up and could go all the way back to $406.26. This is another gap in the charts that probably needs to be filled. Let's go ahead and go into Nike. Nike had mentioned that you had this gap in the charts. You were slightly below it in the pre-market. Ended up, price then got a nice bid to the upside. If you got in this at this aggressive level, you could have taken as much as 3.5%. Now that it's kind of falling back towards the lower end of this candle right here, my next level of support is going to be $55.28 for a long. This is more of an aggressive level. You had this gap in the charts, previous gap with all this price consolidation. So $55.28 is going to be a key support level. My long level today, though, would be $52.33. You got this double bottom area with additional support for Nike to get a solid bounce. All right, let's go ahead and go into KBH. This is another long play that I had mentioned. This gap fill was a minor gap in the charts. However, you got a nice bid. Now, again, we're breaking back below that gap in the charts, signifying that there's still some selling pressure in the SMH. I still have this long-term upsloping trend line that I'm eyeing, and this previous gap in the charts that needs to be filled at $55.28. So if we can get down there today, this is where I'm looking to take a long play. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the SMH. Like I had mentioned, the SMH had a nice bid in the early part of the session, or the early part of the week. And then Thursday, we got a little bit more of a bid. And then Friday, we really kind of rallied to the upside. So if we can break some resistance levels, $366.99 is my first shortable level. So you've got this pivot, this wide range red bar candle as resistance, $366.99. Knowing that I've got additional resistance right here at $370.99. And then ultimately, I think it could go up to $384.61. This would be a swing short for me. I've connected a couple of pivot highs, which is where I'm getting this $384.61 level for possibly a max upside. It could pierce this level, go up to 385. But for me, this would be my swing short level for the SMH. Now let's go into MU. MU, I'd given you guys this potential upside target of $263. The gap in the charts that still needed to be filled. We got a little bit of a rejection. And then I said, I'm going to short this at a pierce of 265. It did get up to that level. I didn't end up getting in at 265. I actually waited till about 268. Took a couple $100, about $800 on the downside. And look at what MU is doing now. My next shortable level on MU is $285.27, knowing that it could go up to $300.27. So what I've done is I've actually connected this pivot high here, connected it through this price action, this pivot high, and look at where I'm drawing this trend line. Not only do you have this upsloping trend line as resistance, but you also have the $300 whole round number. So for me, aggressive levels, 285.27, but ultimately I'm looking at a short today at 300.27. This is a great opportunity for a potential short, not only on a day trade, but more of a swing trade level as well. All right, Lennar was another stock that we were monitoring. I didn't actually play this, but it actually got a nice bid off of that level that I gave you. So let's go ahead and dive into this chart. $105.40. You had this wide range red bar candle. This was a previous gap in the charts and this price consolidation. Look at all of this support in here. So I gave you a level of $105.40. Now in the pre-market is trading $108.40. So had you gotten into this trade, which again, I did not, you could have taken as much as 2.5%. If price gets back into $105.40, I'm not interested anymore because now the price action could break below that. Excuse me, for Lennar, your next level of support is going to be right around $102.77, knowing that the whole round number of $100 is going to be another support level for you on LEN. IREN is another stock that's up today. A couple different levels that I have. Now that we're starting to make more of a push to the upside, your first level for the aggressive traders is $46.84 for a short. That's a gap in the charts. This is more of a minor gap, but it's still a gap. You could get a nice rejection off of this $46.84 level, knowing that there's additional resistance. Not only do you have this previous gap in the charts, but you've got this wide range green bar candle and this pivot top. So for me today, $48.91 is the level that I'm looking to short IREN. LITE has been making some crazy moves to the upside. I have some key technical resistance levels that I'm eyeing for a potential short today as well, if price can push up a little bit higher. So LITE now is trading above the all-time highs. My first shortable level I'm looking at today is $400.13. This is going to be key resistance. Again, key psychological $400 whole round number. Not only that, but it's also a square number, meaning that it's a square of 12, which is nice to see. $400 is what I'm looking at for a potential short level, knowing that I've got additional resistance at $412.72. You've got this beautiful upsloping trend line that connects this pivot low, through this price consolidation. It hit again right here, tried to get above, broke below, got rejected again, had this nice down move. Now that we're taking out this pivot high to the upside, $400 and then 412.72 are my levels on LITE. LITE is more of a it's a volatile stock, so so expect it to move more than we anticipate, which is why I've given two separate levels. And what I'm looking to do is that $400 even number. I'm going to look into dollar cost average all the way up to about $412.72. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me this morning at 8:45. Garasolo is going to be going live, probably talking about the same Santa Claus rally that's potential in the markets. And is this going to be the end of the Santa Claus rally? And he's going to give you some key resistance levels for the markets as well. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys next time in the charts. Take care.